Dahil ba may mga kaso siya dito? 3,600 plus na resibo. O di ba yung
Huwag niyong isampal sa mga biktima na iharapin niya lahat ng kaso niya here and now. Hello Philippines! Mula sa pagbaliktad ng Maleta Boys sa extradition ni Apollo Kibuloy hanggang sa 15 boxes ng ebidensya sa Senate impeachment trial nitong linggo. Mainit ang balita.
Bumuha ng tsaa o kape at samahan niyo kaming busisin ang mga totoong kwento, ang mga resibo at ang epekto nito sa ating bayan.
I am Mon Zakiwat, breaking down the facts and the context.
And I am Mia Magdaleno Focno, and I'm here to unpack the human side of the issues.
This is Spill the Tea by the Law Stories.
And the Mountain Beacon.
Alright, kumusta naman dyan ngayon sa Baguio? Sobrang lakas ng bagyo.
Oo nga, alam mo, kakaakyat ko lang din. Recently, it took us 7 hours. Grabe, ang haba ng biyahe. Well, one thing is dahil yung maraming trucks doon sa Marcos Highway, bumabagal talaga. Okay naman na, yung flooding I think receded, pero isang linggo na yan, na ulan.
Actually, yun nga,
naman tayo.
the Philippines welcomed me ng grabe tong bagyo. So, ang nakakaano dito, kahit na malakas yung bagyo, traffic because of flood here in Metro Manila.
Sa Manila?
Yeah.
Oo.
Pero alam mo, Ate Mia, syempre, walang mas sad dyan sa bagyo na yan. Kundi, wala ring nakakagulat dyan sa bagyo dahil lahat nating nandyan na yan, di ba? It's always flooded. Ang nakakagulat, syempre, yung pag-recant ng testimony ng ating dance
So
ng mga
spill the tea
Maleta
number
Boys.
1.
Spill the tea number 1.
Go ahead!
Ayan. So, isa-isa na nga mga kababayan na nagre-recant ng testimonies ang ating ilan sa mga Maleta Boys. And some of them named Mike Defensor and Senator Rodante Marcoleta na nangongontrol sa kanila, who promised them ng big cash reward kapag matuloy-tuloy nila yung pagbibigay nila ng mga scammed affidavits kung tawagin nila. Malaking epekto nito, it's because litong-lito na ang taong bayan natin, Mia, sinong paniniwalaan, di ba?
Oo. Kasi ang hirap nun, yung sa mga recant na yan, yung credibility ng witnesses, nako-compromise yan. Yung, di ba, originally, yung 18 na yan, talagang yung accusations nila, multi-billion pesos yan na ghost and defective infrastructure projects. And, kung legit talaga yan, okay yan na information. Kaso nga lang, with the recanting of the four, were part of the core 8 witnesses whose affidavits were formally submitted to the Office of the Ombudsman. So now, ang tanong is, ano ba talaga?
Correct.
Ano ba talaga?
And, Ate Mia, sa Philippine courts, historically, they view recantations with extreme suspicion. Talagang makaka-apekto yan dun sa kaso. Kasi parang credibility-wise, asan na doon?
If you compare that, to, let's say, a relationship, and your partner says, dito ako pumunta, ito ang ginawa ko. And then later sasabihin niya, ay hindi pala, dun pala ako pumunta at iba ang ginawa ko. Confused ka na. Ano ba talaga?
Confused na. And,
trust issues yan.
And of course, ang defense niyan is i-argue talaga nila yung credibility na ngayon ng all of the witnesses because 4 out of the 8, 50% yon recanting testimonies. Napakalaking dagok nun dun sa kaso na i-file nila sa ombudsman. So, we don't know kung anong mangyayari dito, no? Because yung mga nakaabang, parang ano na ba? So, manipulation na tong nangyayari. They're already manipulating the minds of the Filipinos, especially those who are vulnerable to trust them. So, kung totoo nga na ginamit sila, so we know na parang in politics talaga, it's really political play.
it's always trust issues over trust issues over trust issues. It's like going back. Our president and vice president, they ran together. And then now they're not together. And then now we have witnesses saying this and saying that. So we don't know. And then what else? Yung parang they're trying to beat the subpoena. Kasi the retraction, it came ahead of a bank probe. The retraction occurred just as the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee was preparing formal subpoenas for physical bank records linked to the cash deliveries. So, yung 4 na witnesses, they stated that they came forward kasi out of fear of perjury and plunder charges once the independent paper trails contradict kung ano yung una nilang sinabi. So, yun yung isang rason nila kung bakit daw.
Parang all those times we're right when we question the credibility of these witnesses. So, ngayon, kung step forward sila, sasabihin nila, sige ganito, let's step backward. Ano pang aabangan natin ngayon, di ba? Kasi recently, nagpa-interview naman si attorney, yung lawyer nila, no? Na parang sinasabi na inofferan daw sila to recant the testimony.
Una, 5 million ang offer. Naging 8 million, naging 10, hanggang umabot na nga ng 25 million.
No, inofferan daw naman sila. So parang ngayon, ano ba? Inofferan sila to recant the testimony? Sabi naman nung 4 is that inofferan sila to release those statements.
Nakaisip din sila na wala na nga silang kaso, mawawala yung mga pananakot sa kanila, at meron pa silang pera.
So, wala na. It's really shattered. For me, it's really shattered. And I'm pretty sure the ombudsman or kung ano man, I mean, our courts will really give a decision. Talagang feeling ko rin naman against the Maleta boys. So, anong stand natin dito, Ate Mia?
Ang stand natin, I think clear yung stand natin dito, Mon. Kasi yung recantation, it destabilizes yung political narrative na pinupush ni Marcoleta at ni Defensor, who I think are detained na walang bail.
Yeah.
Tama?
Yes, they're detained.
So it converts yung what was framed as a whistleblowing crusade. Sayang, whistleblowers. Ang hirap pa naman na magpa-bring forward ng whistleblowers. Pero ito, yung legal liability din kasi nung backers nila.
Correct.
Diba? Ang tagal-tagal ng hinihingi ng taong bayan na may maikulong dahil sa flood control issues, dahil sa corruption dyan. Tapos ganito mangyayari. Parang
And gaya ng sinabi natin before na without evidence to prove their claims, walang mangyayari dito. And we're still waiting until now. We only have the verbal testimony na nire-recant na. So what else do we have?
So, let's just hope na when the paper trails are revealed, yung like bank ledgers, CCTV footage, let us pray that they are presented to support the original claims and the verbal testimonies in this probe that is legally toxic and legally useless. So let's see. Diba?
Abangan natin.
Oo, kasi yun, hindi yun nakaka-recant.
Yes.
Hindi pwedeng sabihin ng bank ledger, I am sorry.
Yeah. Binayaran ako.
Naka-receive ako ng malita. So, hindi. So, hintayin na lang natin yung money.
So, we're just repeating our call last spill the tea when we talk about this. So,
yes.
Let's see.
Let's wait and see, and let's hope the evidence will be able to speak for the truth.
Yeah. So, we now move on to spill the tea number 2. Ate Mia ba? Gusto ko bigyan ng background dyan. Lalo't galing ka sa Mindanao.
Oh my gosh! Ito si the self-proclaimed son of God.
Yeah.
So ito yon, yung following the Department of Foreign Affairs formal transmittal of the USA extradition request for the Kingdom of Jesus Christ or KOJC founder Apollo Kibuloy to the Department of Justice. Public and legislative debates escalated regarding whether domestic trial proceedings or international treaty obligations should take precedence. in simple terms, hinihingi na ngayon ng USA na dalhin
Yeah.
si Kibuloy doon para harapin niya yung mga kaso niya doon. Kaso ang tinatanong naman dito is may mga kaso kasi siya sa Pilipinas. So, dahil ba may mga kaso siya dito, hindi na siya pwedeng dalhin sa Amerika? Yun ang i-discuss natin ngayon.
Ano ba talaga? Based on law?
Based on law, yung isang present ni Senator Risa, she even said it's about time that we push for a US trial. Kasi bakit nga ba siya wanted doon? Ang bibigat ng mga kaso niya, ha? Pero ang sabi ni Senator Risa, who chairs the Senate Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality, sabi niya, pinipraise niya yung sinabi ng Amerika na papuntahin na doon. Kasi it's about time na daw talaga that he answers for the crimes that he committed there sa jurisdiction ng Amerika. Ngayon, first of all, bakit ba kasi siya wanted sa Amerika, okay?
Bakit nga ba?
Oo, mabigat yan, di ba? May poster pa nga, FBI wanted. Oo. Si Kibuloy, he's 76 years old na. He factored strongly during the 2022 campaign, presidential campaign. So, malakas kasi ang pull niya. Kaso, he is part of the FBI's top 10 most wanted list. He faces federal indictments in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. Bakit? Ito, sex trafficking of children, sex trafficking by force and coercion, bulk cash smuggling, and marriage fraud. O, di ba, pinagluloko niya pati yung mga marriage na yan.
And Ate Mia, some of those cases are consistent with the cases filed against him here in the Philippines.
Ano yung dito?
I mean, sex trafficking of children, yun yung pinag-usapan dun sa Senate inquiry ni Risa Hontiveros. That's the reason why when Risa Hontiveros posted na it's about time. Kasi medyo binash siya doon ng mga supporters ni Kibuloy and ng DDS, no? Na parang
dapat wala na talagang matirang kahit katiting na impluensya si Kibuloy dito sa ating bansa. Yung patuloy na presensya niya dito sa Pilipinas ay nagpapalakas pa ng loob sa mga natitira niyang mga followers na harasin yung mismong mga victim survivors na naglakas loob na nga na sumaksi.
Di ba presumption of innocence? Bakit parang sinasabi mo ng guilty?
Guilty siya.
Sabi nga ni Risa is that ano lang yan eh. So ibig ba sabihin ng mga nag-testify or ng mga kinuhang mga resource person dun sa hearing na ginawa niya ay nagsisinungaling din? Yung mga nagsalita about human trafficking, nagsalita about sex trafficking, nagsisinungaling ba sila? So yes, there's presumption of innocence, but of course, if victims come out, you cannot tell in front of the faces of the victims na innocent yung sinasabi nila. Diba? So, yun yung pinanggagalingan din dyan. So, parang kung consistent na ganyan yung cases, I mean, it's about time for us to think.
That's right.
Is it not true kung ganyan na parehas, US and Philippines? Magkaibang courts, pero almost the same cases.
Right. Tama. And to add to that, meron yung Article 11. So, ano ba yung Article 11? So, ito yung temporary surrender mechanism. This one, responding to claims that extraditing Kibuloy would undermine local judicial sovereignty or delay his domestic qualified human trafficking trial in Pasig. Sabi ni Senator Risa, yung Article 11 of the Philippines-US Extradition Treaty, she pointed out that the treaty explicitly provides for temporary surrender, allowing the Philippine government to hand Kibuloy over to the US muna para harapin niya yung mga kaso niya dyan, and then he can be returned to the Philippines to face naman yung mga kaso niya dito. So, pwede.
Pwede. And that's actually justified also dun sa tinatawag nating PD 1069. It's just a process. The DOJ will petition a local court for an extradition order applying Article 11, which will guarantee that victims in both jurisdictions receive due process without dismissing his local non-bailable detention.
Ayun. So, hindi porke papupuntahin siya sa States, makakalimutan na yung mga kaso niya dito. So,
tuloy-tuloy pa rin.
Oo. So, at hindi rin hadlang yung mga kaso niya dito para hindi siya makapunta doon. So, yun yung dapat intindihin natin. Na pwede siyang pumunta doon at bumalik din dito. Diba?
And it happened before in 2002 when Congressman Martin Jimenez, process of extradition din. At it did not parang compromise yung cases niya here in the Philippines. Yeah.
So ano ang ating stand dyan, Mon?
Ang stand natin dyan is that if it's really needed, then we must support. Because kung may victims siya dito, may victims din doon. And if we can try yung lahat ng cases niya while doing both, then we must do it. Because ang tagal na ng kasong ito, ang tagal ng wanted ni Kibuloy in US at ang tagal nang lumalabas ang mga victims here in the Philippines. It's really about time for him to like face justice. Ngayon kung ang claim ay innocent siya, diharapin niya lahat ng kaso niya here and abroad. And let the courts decide if he's really innocent or not. Huwag niyong isampal sa mga biktima na parang inosente pa siya kung ang dami ng mga biktima who came forward and tell the world na biktima sila, which is not easy.
Masusunod naman ng due process dyan. So, that's right. I agree with your stand, Mon. So, let him face the music.
Yeah.
Music.
Biglang sumayaw. But right now, doon naman tayo sa Spill the Three. Yeah.
Spill the Three.
Yeah. Ito excited ako kasi sino naman ang nanalo, Ate Mia, this week? Naman sa ano.
Grabe, para siyang...
Ini-scorean natin sila eh. Para ang tatalino natin. Pero, mind you guys, nag-score kami na Ate Mia based on how we see it as ordinary viewers like you. We're assessing. Oo. Hindi naman kami nagmamagaling dito. And we also want to know your answers at the end of this kung sinong nanalo. But just to give a context, ang pinag-usapan this week kasi is more on confidential funds. Confidential funds ang naging focus this week. So, may 15 boxes of proof na at some point, hindi naman lahat yan in-unveil, but much of it were discussed during this week. So, Attorney Poa sa defense side and Attorney Kapunan naman dito sa prosecution side. And I'm telling you, grabe yung character ni Attorney Lorna. Nung mga una-una kasi, medyo ano siya Ate Mie, nung mga unang mga harap niya, parang ang tagal-tagal niya magsalita, parang ako super explain, na parang minsan naiisip ko na, ang OA rin ni Attorney Lorna magsalita. Pero this time, nilabas niya yung pagkahalimaw niya sa court.
Your favorite line ko sa kanya this week is, Hoy! Don't answer that!
Hoy! Don't answer that.
Wait, don't answer. Uy.
Ang galing.
And ilang beses tumawa ang mga nandoon, even mga senators natatawa, even si Poa natawa, di ba natatawa siya?
Start natin dun sa ano ba yung nangyari dun sa copy-paste? Ano ba yun?
So, ngayon, yung copy-paste na yan, ate, tinawag niyang scam. Yung mga mga liquidation na ginawa, na present, no? Sa liquidation kasi ng OVP, pare-parehas lahat. It's a template. That's why she called it copy-paste. And kapag daw kasi gano'n, ang tawag doon, scam. Sabi niya. So,
siyempre nag-object si Poa.
With all due respect to opposing counsel, I would like to object to that characterization.
Sustain counsel.
Na-strike siya from the record. But after the hearing, in-explain niya nga na parang, it's really a scam. Diba? Kasi kung imbento naman yung liquidation report at saka yung mga kung ano-anong mga acknowledgement receipt na ginawa, it's really a scam. Yun yung ano niya. Nakakatawa kasi kay Kapunan, laging meron siyang banat.
Sabi nga niya, di ba, I think that's copy-paste. Tapos, may I object si attorney po. Tapos, sabi ni attorney Kapunan, ay, akala ko makakalusot. Winner!
So, madami siyang mga moments. Tapos, yon yung about sa irregular, pinag-usapan din yan, kung ano bang ibig sabihin ng irregular. Although, I can see that Kapunan is doing her best na mas gawing masa yung trial. No, because if we would to check even the past impeachment trials before Estrada and yung kay Corona, napaka-technical. 'Di ba? Yung mga usapan doon. Dito ginagawa niyang masa. Kaya nga very different yung style niya ngayon compared sa mga previous. So, and actually mas tumutulong na nga si Cheese sa kanya in terms of like correcting yung mga translation ni Kapunan.
Tama ka, yung sa decorum nila, yung more often nag-step in na pati si presiding officer. Like for example, like in maintaining control doon sa impeachment court, he helped, as you correctly said, he helps translate yung English terms like correcting irregular to hindi kinagawian, and then keeping decorum balanced. Meanwhile, ito namang si Senator Judge Raffy Tulfo, he raised conflict of interest concerns concerning POA serving as a defense counsel while being mentioned in an audit meeting. Take note, si Kapunan mismo, dinefend niya si POA. Ang sabi niya is POA is appearing strictly as legal counsel, which Escudero naman confirmed.
Agreed, oo. Pero alam mo dyan, at some point sa akin, kung kumausap ka sa meeting para lang i-lobby yung liquidation at paulit-ulit kang mini-mention even if like you're there as a lawyer, not as the ano, pero USEC kasi siya ng DepEd. I mean, official siya ng DepEd during that time. So I can see the reason why people are like clamoring or I mean requesting for him to like recuse himself, no? But yeah, kung yun yung naging decision, at least nakita natin si Kapunan, parang okay. I respect that, totoo naman. But yun nga, I also understand yung concerns ng iba na who's asking him to like inhibit. But ano pa ba ang issue naman ng mga nakita mo rin before we score?
3,600 plus na resibo. O, di ba, yung 15 boxes na resibo ng documents, including yun nga, yung mga acknowledgement receipts, like for Mary Grace Piatos. And oh my gosh, yung ibang names doon, ang babastos.
Ang dilim.
Oh
At
gosh,
ang nakakatawa
pakilabas mo,
dyan.
Arvin, lahat, ha? Okay.
At ang nakakatawa dyan, tumayo si Senator Robin Padilla. Alam mo ba yun? Tapos question niya si Kapunan. Bakit naman daw pinaglalaroan ni Kapunan yung mga pangalan?
Si Andy Lim.
Andy Lim. Sabi ni Kapunan, ay, hindi ko pa sila pinaglalaroan. Binabasa ko lang po.
Kaya ko
Binabasa
pala hindi makita. Andy Lim, parang...
Tingnan mo, Senator Robin, ikaw nga, nagugulat ka sa mga pangalan, tingin mo pa pinaglaruan ng prosecution. That's the reason why the people are asking for accountability because ito yung mga names na nasa liquidation report.
Grabe ha, like super below the belt. Meron din yung Gina Hasa.
Diba?
Hasa. Like,
Diba?
wow, really? So low. That's so low. So and then you question for Andy Lim, like
At nag-question din si Amy Marcos. Gusto niya pang i-point out na it's not the DepEd secretary or the VP who should be accountable. Na parang it should be the mga nasa baba kung sino yung diyan. Buti na lang magaling yung witness na parang part of the part of the circular is that joint circular is that syempre pati yung head. Sino bang secretary? Sino bang nag-a-approve? Huwag naman nagbigyan ng special treatment si VP. Mali dun si Amy Marcos for like pointing na you to throw under the bus lahat ng mga nasa baba even if it's approved, signed.
Command responsibility, di ba?
Yes.
Meron din yung isa doon na yung no audit query. So, the COA denies the OVP request. What does this mean? Auditor Wamil testified that during a September 2023 meeting, the OVP and DepEd officials requested an audit query. A non-existent COA procedure to resolve red flags in their 2022 and 2023 confidential fund liquidations. So, COA denied the request and instead issued an audit observation memorandum. Kasi nga, walang audit query.
Inilatag na ngayon na ang problem dyan na isa sa confidential fund is yung spending 125 million pesos in 11 days. At least nilatag sa trial. Diba?
Yeah. Nung December 2022 yan, di ba? And COA disallowed 73.28 million of that.
Laki.
Diba? Tas, aside from that, meron pa yung 500 million na OVP funds, tsaka yung 112.5 million in DepEd confidential funds naman spent across 2023. And you were talking about delays kanina, di ba?
Yeah.
So, at least presiding officer Escudero, si Cheese, he repeatedly overruled yung mga attempts ng defense to delay document presentations, ordering the defense to submit technical objections in writing, while allowing direct examination of witness auditors to proceed without interruption. So kahit papano naman, nabawasan ng delays, di ba?
Yeah. Kasi nga, ang dami pang ginagawa ng ang dami pang ginagawa kasi ng defense. Ito, nag-viral to yung part na kine-question nila yung documents na kailangan i-check muna daw nila yung mga documents na meron ang prosecution. Yung part na na parang, sabi ni Lorna Kapunan, gamitin natin yung yung
Kopyan
document ninyo, magka-question pa ba kayo? Pares lang naman tayo ng documents. Kasi manonood daw siya ng
Per Thursday, Friday, manonood pa ako ng Odyssey.
Odyssey.
The Odyssey.
Pero ang witty ni Lorna doon sa part na yun.
Grabe.
And I salute the lawyers this week for making this week's trial funny. And at
least more understandable. Audit yan,
yes.
ha? Ang hirap
Audit ang hirap. And in fairness, the witness is
yes, saludo din ng Juanil.
Sadly fierce si witness. Parang bata na nagsasalita pero hindi siya makontrol ng mga nagko-cross sa kanya.
Bakit siya parang bata?
Kasi kung tignan mo siya magsalita, parang alam mo yun, parang bata siya magsalita pero hindi siya makontrol even if other senator judges are trying to put words into his mouth. Wala.
Right. They weren't able to get away with that.
Yeah. So, sino sa'yo this week? Who won the game?
Oh my gosh, like this week, clearly naman, prosecution.
Ako hindi prosecution Si Lorna Kapunan ng
Manonood pa ako ng Odyssey.
Sila Kapunan ng nanalo. I hope nakapanood na po kayo ng The Odyssey. She let the point across talaga.
Yeah, and she's really trying to engage. Alam naman natin na hindi lahat interested. Lalo't alam nila na napaka-legally, technical. But this week, it's really engaging because, yun nga, may mga funny moments na pumapasok na which will make you really watch at balikan mo because nagva-viral yung mga, for some good reason. So at least we learn.
Actually nga, like overall, for now, with Attorney Ligutan, Attorney Kapunan on one side, providing some levity, some humor, making things understandable for us. And then on the other side, we have very serious people. Those two young lawyers and then now Attorney Poa. It's like, wow. And then I was missing this week yung Chel Poa dynamic. Yeah. But overall...
Ay, alam mo kung anong hinihintay ko?
Ano?
Shell and Pia. Wala Wala man lang sorry yung isa. Wala.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the time na siguro magharap-harapan si Pia at si Chel.
Yeah.
Points this week go to the prosecution.
Correct.
Manonood pa ako ng Odyssey.
At yun nga, bago pa tayo makapagsalita ng kung ano-ano dyan, tapusin na natin ang ating talakayan. Pero hindi syempre matatapos dito ang pagsusuri. Because always we remain mapagmatsyag and, alamin maging maalam.
Mula sa pagbaliktad ng mga pahayag, sa Maleta Boys Probe, sa mga treaty mechanisms ng Quiboloy, extradition hanggang sa buhos na ebidensya sa Senate impeachment court, maliwanag ng bawat kwento ay may mas malalim na konteksto.
At sa bawat numerong pumasok sa records at sa bawat legal strategy na ipinababa ngayong linggo, ang tunay na usapin, mga kababayan, ay ang epekto nito sa ating mga institusyon. At syempre sa bawat mamamayang Pilipino.
Now that you've heard the stories, please tell us what you think.
And now it's your turn to question everything. Share your thoughts in the comments and let's continue the conversation.
I am Mia Magdalena Focno.
And I'm Raymond Sakiwat, and this has been Spill the Tea by the Lost Stories.
And the Mountain Beacon. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next week.